Hey all, Nemesis back again, and today I want to talk about Death Battle's music. Ever since the second season, Death Battle has been creating custom music for their episodes, and ever since Thor vs. Wonder Woman, every single Death Battle has come with its own unique track. Except the 7 Battle Royale, because that episode just can't avoid fucking everything up, I guess. However, only a few of them have been lyrical tracks, so today I want to rank every lyrical track Death Battle has had. And I want to note, this is definitely going to be a subjective list. This is based not only on how well I think the songs fit the characters and series, but also just my own personal music taste. Obviously, not everyone's going to have the same taste as me, and I completely understand that. I'm bad at starting these sort of videos. Let's just get to it.
Oh my god, it's Deadpool with a gun!
Kings of Infinity is a song that doesn't really fit in the least. I don't really know what they were thinking with this one. If I were to compose a song for a battle with characters on this scale, I'd go for more of an orchestral, powerful song. But Kings of Infinity doesn't really succeed at really conveying that. Honestly, I would have just played Sephiroth's One-Winged Angel Advent Children version. That fits this a lot better. Now, I think it'll become pretty quickly obvious that I'm just not a fan of rap music. I don't like how it sounds generally, and I'm way more on the metalhead spectrum of music. However, even with that taken out, this is just a very monotonous song. I don't actively dislike rap, I guess, at least not as much as some people I know, but I don't like any song that comes off as repetitive as this one does. I think the main reason it comes off as such is its length. Kings of Infinity is a 6 fucking minute long track, and I think that really makes it suffer because about halfway through it just sounds like it's on autoplay. Legitimately, it sounds like a computer-generated song with the exact same beat over and over and over and over again for 6 minutes long. And like, I've heard long songs before. Avantasia has some amazing long songs. Ravenchild, The Seven Angels, Scarecrow. It's just, they've got so many really, like, 12-minute long songs that are just phenomenal. But the key to those is that they're not just repetitive. They do have choruses, but they're not just the same chorus repeated over and over again. I mean, I don't blame Brandon Yates for this, though. I'm not going to hold him to the same pedigree I hold Avantasia. But, I mean, I certainly wouldn't envy being tasked with composing a track for a 6-minute long fight. But you know who has made a good 6-minute long track who was not a big, like, star power band? The GM on YouTube, or TEDGM, I don't know how it's Ben. They have a 6-minute long track for Dio vs. Alucard, and it's leagues better than Kings of Infinity. In fact, they just have a lot of really good tracks. Honestly, I only bring this one up specifically because it's around the same length. I highly recommend you go check out their stuff. I'll leave a link in the description, because they're a cool person, and they deserve it. Also, Dio vs. Alucard's not nearly as repetitive in how the song sounds. It's a good song, guys. But I do think Kings of Infinity is also a victim of being a Death Battle track. That being like, because Death Battle play a single track in the background of the episodes now, it's harder to have those moments of silence, moments where the music completely changes even, or even moments where like, a track can sound like, because like, okay, with He-Man vs. Lion-O, for instance, imagine if the combination of tracks used for that episode was released as a single song. It really wouldn't work too well. There'd be a bunch of like different jumbles, and then out of nowhere, He-Man, and like, I love the music work in that episode. I think that's some of the best use of music in Death Battle, because like every time He-Man does something epic, it's He-Man. And that's really something you can't get nowadays in Death Battle, because they play a single track. But it also means if you want to have like a long extended period of silence, the track that's going to be released is going to have this weird moment where all of it just stops, and it's just going to come off as really strange. Several tracks have been hindered by this, Kings of Infinity being one of them. Also, I didn't know until I checked the lyrics, but this song is supposed to be 2 people talking? Like Thanos and Darkseid, as supposed to have their own individual verses, I guess, for this track, but I didn't hear anything. It just sounds like Omega Sparks on his own the whole way through. I don't know what's up with that.
I get why it's called the power of nothingness now. There's nothing left in his chest.
Fight Like a Devil is a track that I think would be stupidly good if it was an instrumental. But in my honest opinion, I really don't think the rap lyrics work for this one. Yeah, once again, I'm not happy with a rap song, twice in a row too. But honestly, I don't associate these characters with rap. What I associate these two with is exactly what the instrumental of this song sounds, because the instrumental is amazing, and I wish that got released. And that's my main issue. I just don't like the lyrics, nor do I like the vocals, nor do I like the style the vocals are done in. In spite of that, I still rank it way above Kings of Infinity. I mean, it's nowhere near as boring for one thing. The instrumentals are nice and fast paced, and it just sounds better. And the one part I really like is, I think it's when Evil Ryu comes out, there's like a bit where like instead of rap it's like this like weird chanting sound, that's really good. Also, it's half the length, so I don't get bored of it as quickly. Really, I just think it's a decent enough song that is bogged down by not being in my subjective personal taste. And I have surprisingly little to say about it, actually.
Thanks for the
I used to really dislike Lost Ice Storms, but with some reflection, I don't really dislike it nearly as much as I used to. There are still problems, but I can definitely denote some positives. For instance, I think the opening is fantastic. The build-up and the instrumental there is amazing. And like overall, it's good. I especially like the last minute. However, the vocals don't really do it for, at least like in the earlier portions, I'm just not a fan of the vocals. Like when Brandon Yates gets more guttural, I love it. It adds a nice sort of, it adds this like a nice contrast between the voices. And it does sound a bit nu metal to me, and I'm not really big on nu metal generally, but I do like it. I still like his guttural portions, and I do like Miriani's vocals too. I'm just not into them, I guess. It's hard to explain. I like Lost Ice Storms, I just don't think it's that good. If the entire song was as fast-paced as the last 50 seconds with guttural Brandon, I think I would have really enjoyed it more as a song, but then it wouldn't really fit the battle that much, because guttural Brandon is probably more for Ice Devil Slayer Grey as opposed to Bass Grey. Not that I think it really matters anyway. I don't think this track fits these characters, honestly. While I do think it leans at least a bit more to the hard rock style of Fairy Tail, I feel like it would have been better to just combine the orchestral rock of A Can't Make a Kill and the folk rock of Fairy Tail. I don't think it would have been that hard. They could have had a supremely great track if they did that, and I am disappointed we didn't get it. Still, I don't dislike it nearly as much as I used to.
You should hear the boxing glove arrow when it hits. It makes this kind of sound.
You Have Failed This City, in spite of its extremely bad name that only references one character and completely leaves out the other, is a fantastic song. As a song independent of Death Battle, it might be one of the best Death Battle I've ever had. It's a great classic metal song. The guitars are on point, the vocals are fantastic, and it sounds like something I could legitimately hear coming out of an official big-time band. Like, holy shit. I would probably want to rank this 3 or 4 if it fit the characters better, but it doesn't, and that's where I think it really fails. This song is something I'd expect for fucking Broly vs. Ashura, or Red Hulk vs. Atrocitus. Not Hawkeye vs. Green Arrow. Ashura? Broly vs. Asura. Not Hawkeye vs. Green Arrow. Not only are they not really intense enough to warrant such a heavy song, but the fight itself wasn't heavy duty enough for it. In fact, the fight was good at focusing more on tactics than anything else. The two utilized their different trick arrows to try and gain an advantage while countering each other at the same time. But thankfully, this song did not suffer from needing to be synced with the fight. It is a consistently fast and banging as all buggeration song that I can't get enough of. This is the best thing to come from Green Arrow vs. Hawkeye. I can't gush over it enough, but I can, because I have 9 more to talk about.
Ganon could only be killed by holy weapons like the Master Sword and Silver Arrows.
Olympus Mons is an interesting one. I'm counting it, but it never actually got into Death Battle. The instrumental of Olympus Mons did, and it's a kind of a shame the lyrical one didn't, because, my god, this is a great metalcore song. Like, this would rank in the top 5 at least if I was ranking this solely on how good I thought the songs were. It's fast-paced, and for a Death Battle track, pretty brutal. I mean, it's not Magic or Cannibal Corpse, but I don't expect it to be. It's metalcore, not death metal. Though between you and me, I've always preferred black metal to death metal. I love Cradle of Filth. But still, Brandon does an absolutely stunning vocal performance in this track, and it gives it, honestly, somewhat of a Slipknot psychosocial sound to it, with a good mixture of his more melodic, normal vocals with that guttural power really hitting when it needs to. It's also, thankfully, not too long, though if I'm being honest, I'll say it now, being too long was only a problem for Kings of Infinity. I think my only issue is that, like with the last entry, the song doesn't fit the characters. Not only does the name of the song literally just translate to Mount Olympus, which I don't associate with either of these two, the song doesn't really sound at all like what I'd hear from Bowser vs. Ganondorf. I associate Bowser with, that traditional Mario sound, wahoo, or maybe a powerful orchestral track. And Ganondorf also, definitely, I associate with more of that foreboding booming orchestral sound. However, this is a metalcore song. Honestly, it fits Ganondorf vs. Dracula more. Actually, yeah, now I think about it, with the pipe organ and all, I think this would have fit that episode a lot more. Then I would happily put it at number 3. But as it stands, unfortunately it's down here.
And veritable versatility!
I am not a rap guy, I said it earlier, but I do enjoy the occasional rap battle here and there. Epic rap battles is pretty good, and I think it's just a matter of being fast-paced, having clever lyrics, and being funny. I wouldn't listen to rap battles as songs in like a car or something, but as just a video on YouTube, then yeah. And What's Up Danger is honestly fantastic at that. First off, it fits both of them quite well. Spider-Verse and Static Shock both have a focus on hip-hop and rap in their soundtracks, and while I can't speak for how well this represents Static Shock, it sounds like it came straight out of the Spider-Verse OST, and I love that to no end. And the lyrics are quite good, though, in my opinion, Static Shock wiped the floor with poor Miles. But still, they're good, they're snappy, they're quick, they sound good, and unlike Kings of Infinity, I can clearly tell that there's two people, two distinctly different voices in this. The vocalist did a great job. I am realizing now that I have little to say about this. I like it and it fits well. Moving on.
What?
Simple name for a simple song. EXO sounds like something out of the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance soundtrack, and I love that. It fits good and it's very, very heavy. But there are a few things holding it back for me to really love it. A few things. For one, a good amount of the lyrics are fucking impossible to hear, and I'm someone who can understand death metal and grindcore lyrics with relatively little issue most of the time. But these lyrics, they're just so quiet. I don't have this issue with the actual Revengeance soundtrack either. I listened to quite a good amount of those songs not long ago, and I can hear them fine. It's only really when the chorus hits that I can hear what the fuck Brandon is saying. And the song can come off as a bit cluttered at points where it sounds like too many instruments are going on at once, but that's probably just me. Despite that, I do think EXO is a fantastic track. It really fits Raiden especially. And hey, if someone made a mod for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance with a Wolverine boss battle featuring this song, that'd be pretty hype, not gonna lie.
Let's fight!
No. Alive is fantastic, and it would have been a contender for top 5 if it weren't for one moment in the song. Overall, Alive is really good. It has a good build-up at the start, and due to only starting halfway through the battle, it doesn't need to sync up to the whole battle, just the points where it actually plays, of course. And yeah, I cannot listen to Alive without picking the phenomenal Canyon fight from Goku vs Superman 2. As a song on its own, it hits me with those chills when it gets going. That's only 30 seconds in. That's saying something about how good it is. It really is just that good. Brandon Yates' vocals just kill it in this song. It sounds like an actual, not a death battle track. It sounds like a real song with an actual chorus that really fucking kicks it into high gear. Unfortunately, I don't like the rap segment 2 minutes in. Yeah, it's rap. My pet peeve, sorry rap fans, but in this case, my issue is that it's just very out of place and comes out of nowhere. This isn't the only song I've heard with this issue. The proper version of I Burn from Ruby is a great song. Funnily enough, I prefer Casey Lee's vocals in her old work than a new one. But it's just a really good song. But then Lamal Hall comes in with a big rap segment that does not fit and I just don't like. It's not the worst example. I Burn is not the worst example. The worst one is Before My Body Is Dry from the Kill La Kill soundtrack. I think this is one of my favorite songs from any anime period, but only the non-rap version, because there's a rap portion that just doesn't fit the full one. And Alive has the same issue, though I don't think it's as bad as Before My Body Is Dry. It's definitely worse than I Burn, though. I think I Burn probably has the best spontaneous rap segment in a rock song portion. Still, Alive is good enough that even with me not enjoying a whole 30 seconds of the song, it managed to nearly get top 5. That's a testament to how good this song is.
Oh, hey! I can do that too!
Emerald Heroes is a good track. That's really it. It's just a good track overall. Vocals are nice, quite subdued at points, but that really fits this song. And I quite like the sound of the track overall. Surprisingly, despite this being the track of the meme episode, I don't have much to say at all. I do like the build-up at the start. It has a bit of a weird sound, but I think it fits the characters. And that guitar riff that plays before the lyrics, I love that guitar riff. It's so good. That guitar riff alone, that put it at number 1 for a while before I listened to the next 4 songs. Sadly, it really suffers from being a death battle track near the end. Instead of a really hype ending, Around the point of a certain memed line, it just sort of peters out. It just remains on the same tone, doesn't change at all. It just comes off as really flat before it just ends. And that sucks, because otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten any higher, but I would at least be considering it.
He did not even have a head under his helmet!
A rather underspoken track from honestly a rather underspoken episode. Meta vs. Carolina's Slingshot is a really, really good song. It's also in a weird position of just outright being a song from the Red vs. Blue OST. Even if it was made for Death Battle, it's now part of an official soundtrack, and you can buy an official CD with it on it. Admittedly, it doesn't have much of a build-up, it just sort of starts out of nowhere, but that just means it gets going into a pretty good rock track. The vocals from Meredith The vocals from Meredith are absolutely amazing. Without a doubt, some of the best vocals Death Battle has ever had. Sounding melodic and badass at different points, the song works not only really well synced with the battle, but just overall it's great in a vacuum. I adore the portions where Meta takes advantage, and instead of having vocals, we get snippets of his theme song played over the top. Like just lightly in the song you can hear the Meta's theme. And given the Meta doesn't talk, this is a great way to convey his taking advantage in the song. My only issue is that right after the part where Meta smacks Carolina, if you listen to the song on its own, there's like a very weird, unfitting moment of almost complete silence that I legitimately just think would be better if it wasn't in the song itself. Outside of that though, this is just a great track.
Young Midoriya, if you didn't suck so much, you'd be such a good symbol of peace.
Mighty is a good track, hottest take of the millennium. It's a little weird at the start due to the Death Battle track nature of it, because it's got to start with All Might's appearance as a rather out of place bit before it then goes into the long build up. But when it kicks up, oh does it kick up. Legitimately, there's only one other song that could match the lyrical quality of this one, though it's for completely different reasons. The song manages to be a good middle ground between the incredibly heavy Might Guy theme and the far more heroic sounding All Might theme, making for just a really good hard rock track that has some extremely good vocals from the boys. This is a great example of what happens when you take Werewolf Media and Brandon and you just make them collaborate on a song. Holy shit, this is phenomenal in pretty much every way. The energy and hype behind this song is outstanding, and whenever they do a Deku fight, I don't think the inevitable use of Yusei Run will match this. This is just so good. And the best part to me isn't even involving the vocals. That right at the end, when Might Guy unleashes his 8 gates, is a fantastic guitar solo. Oh, that guitar solo is just spectacular. I think Aaron, Werewolf Aaron, went ham on that guitar, and it sounds so fucking good. Finding faults with this track requires a lot of stretching, and I just don't feel like stretching today.
Oh, please.
From a phenomenal hard rock song to a phenomenal industrial metal song, this is the only song that in my opinion could match Mighty in terms of how good the lyrics are. Like I said though, for different reasons. Mighty is great because the lyrics are both heroic, inspirational, and about how immense the determination of the characters is. One singer can capture both characters very well. Infection Perfection is the same, but on a much darker side. It captures the massive egos, the origins, their infective nature and viruses of Ultron and Sigma. It accomplishes their characters very well combined into one song. And not only that, it just sounds amazing. The effect on Brandon's voice really works with the cybernetic nature of the characters too. I love this song. It's heavy, it sounds phenomenal, the lyrics and vocals are great. There's nothing more I have to say, actually. Now we can talk about my number one, which should be obvious by now.
Really, say? I help you today!
Who the fuck is this Autobot?
Oh, Wings of Iron. Just in a league of its own as an absolutely outstanding hard rock song. This song is just tailored to me. It manages to be a fantastic 87 The Transformers the movie song. I could genuinely see this being on that soundtrack, and that's amazing. I love the 87 Transformers movie soundtrack. The touch, dare, hunger, nothing's gonna stand in our way, instruments of destruction, just a fucking outstanding soundtrack, and this fits right in, and that's just amazing. The song has an incredible instrumental to it as well that I wish I could get somehow. Aaron's guitar work is amazing in this song. It full on displays what he can do at his best and is an eargasm of a performance. Daniel Vincent Galvin also does a spectacular job on the vocals. He hits those notes spectacularly, and does such a good job making the song sound as good as it does. Honestly, what can I really say? I love this song. I have nothing to complain about. The song uses the robots in disguise / more than meets the eyes beat in it too. That's amazing! It doesn't feel at all like it's being bogged down by being a death battle track. Simply just a great track. And that was my ranking of Death Battle's lyrical tracks, at least up to Venom vs. Krona. There are definitely going to be more in the future, and hopefully this video is not outdated by the time it comes out. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Musical taste is very subjective, so I can completely understand if you disagree. With all said and done, have a good day everyone, and don't forget to check out the GM because their tracks are amazing. I especially like Key to the Future, that track is beautiful, and if Death Battle did Shulk vs. Sora, they definitely would not top Key to the Future. I doubt they'd top it if they did Shulk vs. Lightning too. Even though Blinded by the Light is a great track, it's like one of the only things from Final Fantasy XIII that most people agree is good. Bye!